Welcome to episode 10 of the Wrecka Stow podcast. I'm your host, John Champion. Now remember, you can find the show on YouTube, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Anchor, and pretty much everywhere podcasts are played. Please like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, if you're feeling so moved, head on over to our virtual tip jar, paypal.me/blessyourheart. That link and all kinds of other great information that we'll talk about on the show, you'll find in the show description. Now, we are keeping a watchful eye on things, even though many states are starting to reopen during this global pandemic. Here's hoping you and yours are safe and healthy during this upheaval, also sending out much respect to first responders. Now on this episode, we're going to update you on the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. He's the latest young black man to be killed in America. We're going to find out what you can do. Do your part to help stop these acts of crime. We're also going to speak with a fitness instructor and wellness coach, help you learn more about what you can do to stay healthy during this lockdown. Not just your body and your waistline, but your mind as well. That great interview is coming up. Also, we're going to review the latest album by one of the best bands in America. A look at Tower of Power's new album is coming up. We'll start the show right after this. Welcome back to the Wrecka Stow podcast. Now, here's the latest on the Ahmaud Arbery case. The fourth prosecutor has been appointed since the crime happened in February. Now, what I'm talking about is the case of a Brunswick, Georgia man who was killed while running down the street. Now, an attorney representing the family of Ahmaud Arbery, who was killed back in February, says that Cobb County, Georgia District Attorney Joyette Holmes has now been assigned to the case. So to give you a little background into what's going on here, if you haven't been following this, let's see, 2 other district attorneys recused themselves from the case, citing conflicts of interest. Again, this is going to be the 4th DA handling this case. Arbery's death has gained national attention after a video was released last week. Again, this all happened in February. Let's see. The video shows Arbery being shot and killed by Travis McMichael. Travis McMichael and his father Greg were arrested last week on charges of murder and aggravated assault after the GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, got involved. Now, Greg McMichael worked for many years as an investigator in the Brunswick County DA's office, and one of those DAs that has since recused himself said that he didn't see anything wrong. He thought that it was a case of a citizen's arrest, and so I'm going to read you a really emotional Facebook post that I shared last week, and so it goes. Black people are so tired. We can't go jogging, Ahmaud Arbery. We can't relax in the comfort of our own homes, Botham Jean and Atiana Jefferson. We can't ask for help after being in a car crash, Jonathan Farrell and Renisha McBride. We can't have a cell phone, Stefan Clark. We can't leave a party to get to safety, Jordan Edwards. We can't play loud music, Jordan Davis. We can't sell CDs, Alton Sterling. Ayanna Jones. We can't sleep. We can't walk from the corner store, Mike Brown. We can't play cops and robbers, Tamir Rice. We can't go to church, Charleston. We're tired. Tired of making hashtags. Tired of trying to convince you that our black lives matter too. We're tired of dying. Tired. So very tired. Now, I'm not just going to put this on the podcast without leaving you with some sort of mission. What can we do? Well, we can keep this young man's name alive through positive actions. Don't let it just become another name on a list that's too long of people being killed doing routine things. Let's not forget. Let's follow through with petitions and voting and staying engaged and active in our communities to make sure that laws like the citizens arrest and stand your ground laws are changed. Also, engage your friends of different races. You won't believe it, but I've heard it said before, and I believe it's true. That really drove the civil rights movement of the 1960s. People were tired of looking ignorant on a world stage. They really, with the dogs and the water hoses, it made America look really bad. So, I've seen so many people who are not of color expressing their outrage, their disgust with all this, and I commend them. I say keep it up. Speak out to your friends and the people close to you and let them know that you think it's unacceptable and you're not going to stand for it in your communities. I've got some important links in the show description, so make sure you check it out. That awesome interview with the fitness instructor is coming up on the Wrecka Stow podcast. Welcome back to the Wrecka Stow podcast, and I'm joined by this week's guest, Felicia Baxter. Felicia is a fitness instructor and wellness coach, and she also advises clients on eating healthy and taking care of themselves in so many ways. Welcome, Felicia.
Hey, champ. How's it going? Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you on this podcast and joining you today. So thank you so much for the invite, man.
Man, you do so many great things. And I just want to ask you, what led you to pursue a career in fitness?
Oh my gosh. Let me see. Kind of started, when we were younger, taking dance classes, but it really started in high school when I was running track, and at Athens, and it just I just fell in love with running, and fell in love actually when we got a chance to get into the weight room and started lifting and stuff. And it just really, really grew from there. So from that point, just began to just continue to run, not competitively, but just began to run on my own, and partnered up with a couple of running groups and stuff when I was working. And it just kind of propel from there. And I ended up working, at a couple of gyms, like run, front desk, even before becoming an instructor, but just enjoyed the environment, enjoyed just being able to talk to other people who really, really cared about just taking care of themselves. So that's kind of how it really started. It's on the track field at Athens Drive, back some years ago when I was in, ninth grade, and just continue to grow from there.
Would you say that's what drives your love of fitness? Just wanting to talk to other people and help other people? Or
yeah, it's like really just that inspirational, because, sometimes when you're, as I ended up becoming an instructor and really getting on that side of it, you realize, people come in for many, many different reasons. Some people come in because it's just that camaraderie of being around their friends when they're in the gym together. Some come in because they just had things happen in life and that's just their outlet. Some come in because they're just trying to get ready for the summer and they just have goals and things in mind, and they really just want to be there for, for those reasons. So for me, it's just being able to inspire other people to be just really the best version of themselves. It's not always being really thin or anything like that, but it's just really, really inspiring them to be the best individuals that they can be. And sometimes it's just their only outlet. Some people I've met over the years, they work from home. They don't really interact with other people because they work from home. And so that becomes their social gathering, their outlet. Some people love just being able to come in and just being able to look good, feel good. Some people come in, they never even talk to anyone. So you just have different reasons. But my love and my drive for fitness is just being able to really create that environment. Teaching, it gives you a chance to be able to be in front of people, and being able to hear certain music, drive them, get them connected to you in such a way that you connect with them. But it also drives me to know that I can leave my problems at the door, whatever I may be going through, whether good or bad, and then I can come in and I can teach a class, and being able to just let that all out, even for myself. So it's just a constant thing. I've been able to really work with other people who have thought about becoming an instructor and really driving and pushing them, and now they're instructors and they're doing extremely well. So it's all this connective relationship that you build from people that become students, and now they're instructors, and students who will always be those students that are part of your life for a long time.
Now, I've known you for a long time. You are such a go-getter. You're so enthusiastic. Tell me something. We're talking about drive, and who really inspires you?
Yes. I was actually thinking about that, because I was like, who is that person that drives me every day, or who's put that little nugget right there in my mind and everything. And I just remember my grandmothers, who are now no longer with us. But I just remember them all the time, just always telling me, hey, just always, no matter what, just keep moving, keep moving. And I'm like, what? And they used to tell me that when I was younger, going over, hanging out with them or spending the night. And I just remember them saying, just always keep moving, keep moving. And then as one of my grandmothers developed like arthritis and stuff, and I would just, I'm over there visiting or whatever, and she used to have me dying laughing. I'm like, Grandma, you want me to get the door? You're moving a little bit slower. And she's like, nah, girl, I got it. And everything she said, because it's important just to keep moving, keep moving. And so they were really the people that really, both my grandmothers really inspired me, and kept motivating me to keep moving. And I didn't understand it then when I was younger, but I understand it now that I am older, that it's so important to just keep moving, no matter what it is that you do. You don't have to be the perfect CrossFit instructor or student in the class. Walking may be your thing. And if you're walking, just continue to move and stuff. So I just remember that. And now I really take hold of that as I'm getting older and, and things in my own life. So yeah, they were always the people that inspired me just to continue to do what I'm doing. So yeah, even though they had no idea they did, but they were my inspiration.
Now you turned me on to something really cool, this Kai detox, and man, and it's really helped me. I've lost some weight. I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
And I just want you to tell us about the product. Tell us about the detox. How did you discover it? And why do you believe in this product?
Yeah, so a friend of mine I actually met, Juanetta. We met about 3 years ago, actually, as I was teaching cycle classes at a local gym in the area. And she and I met, and we always had this really huge passion for just wellness and helping people not only achieve their goals for like weight loss, but actually how do you feel on the inside, and everything. Because one thing you do learn is that you can't outwork a bad habit or a bad diet or anything like that. And so we, continue to keep in contact. And so she was telling me about this detox tea. And the one thing that I always stayed away from, for me personally, were to detox, because most of the detox that I discovered or researched would keep me from eating. And when you're teaching multiple classes throughout the day, sometimes 5 and 6 classes throughout the day, you cannot afford, for me personally, to stop eating. So detoxing was something that was a definitely turn off, because I was teaching 6 days a week. And then, that one day of rest, that's what I wanted to be able to do. And so when she and I started talking about this detox, she said, no, this is really just a great product. It helped to cleanse your system, but it's not a detox that's going to stop you from living your normal life. And so I was like, really interested in it. So she and I got together and I tried a 3-day. Now I'm pescatarian, meaning I only eat seafood. So I don't eat any kind of land meat at all. I only eat meat of the sea, as I said. And so I eat really clean. But the one thing we always talked about is colon cleansing and cleansing the upper intestine. So I tried the detox tea and I was like, oh my God, this is great. So I did my before picture and I was like, this is awesome, because I noticed that I was starting to flush in those 3 days. And so from there, just like you discovered, for me, I don't have a scale, but I took my measurements and I lost inches. And I was like, this is great. And I felt better. It's not like I didn't feel horrible before, but I felt better and I felt lighter. So then from there, I did a 5-day. And from that point on, I just really love the product. And I love the fact that it's a natural product and it has components in there that really work. So it's a 3-system, it has a detox tea, which you're not going to detox for 30 days, but it's a good way to jumpstart your system. It's a good way to cleanse your system, as you actually found out as well. And then they have 2 other products that go along with it. And one is called Valet 30, and it's all these wonderful vitamins in a liquid form. You take a shot of it during the day, and it actually helps it has all your B vitamins in there. It also helps with some joint issues, which, Juanetta speaks very highly of that. It has biotin, so it definitely helps with like hair growth, but it actually helps to just continue to give you and boost your energy. And then they have an energy boost as well, which of course corresponds with the other 2 products. So I began to really love the products, but I love how I feel even in the world that we're living in right now, where things have gone from 100 miles an hour down to like 2 miles an hour, and you're still needing to get through the day. I feel wonderful. I feel like my gut is being cleansed. And so I feel like I'm getting inside and out. My skin is looking a little bit more vibrant and everything, but I also feel like I'm getting the vitamins and the nutrients and things of that nature that I feel. And then I have this natural energy that I sustain throughout the day, where I'm not having a crash. I don't want to nap throughout the day. I'm going out for 5 and 6 mile walks during the day to add on to my other workouts that I'm doing. And then I sleep really restful at night. Restful at night. So I just feel like it's a system that really, really works well together, and it's Tava Lifestyles. And the company's been in business for like 6 months, and I really have enjoyed the products. But I love the fact that I can continue to eat clean, continue to do what I need to do, and I'm not stopping my life because I'm doing a detox type cleanse on however many days a week that I decide to do it. I'm not having to stop my life to be able to do that.
Now, you and I were talking a couple of days ago, and you said something that just really made a lot of sense to me. And like I enjoy the product too, and I just really feel like it's helping me because I'm diabetic and trying to deal with eating right and eliminating fast food and just getting rid of the impurities. There was some, I really feel like I'm moving in a good direction.
Yeah.
Now,
so proud of
you. You definitely, thank you. We were talking about the connection between fitness, good emotional well-being, and physical health, and why it's so important, especially to our community. And remember that?
Yeah. I remember we were talking. Well, we, how we get together and we talk like it's always our wonderful time together. We talk. I mean, that's how our friendship for life goes, right? And it's important because, like you and I talked about, it's like the fitness part comes last. It's the mental part, especially now, as we've slowed down as a community. A lot of people are now not working. They're at home more. Their lifestyle is changing. Their home life is different. And so that all to me goes together, the mental balance that you have, putting good things in your ear and things of that nature. But then the fitness part comes, kind of that third piece of the puzzle, or the third piece of the triangle. Because if you're not taking care of yourself as much as you can from a mental standpoint, and then you're not doing things to really kind of cleanse your inside, then no matter what you're eating, no matter what you're doing, it's not going to really work, in my opinion, and what I found and discovered over the years. The physical part can come with a simple walk. You don't have to go up here and do box jumps and do any kind of crazy stuff. You don't really need the weights. You can do a lot of body weight stuff, very simplistic type workouts to still get the results. But it all goes together to get to that point. And so as a community, being able to surround each other, and like you said, I know, by you being diagnosed with, having diabetes, and just really trying to focus on changing how you eat, just the little bitty pieces that you've done over the last week have really helped to change like how your body feels, how you mentally feel, that clarity that you're feeling. And it's kind of keeping you wanting to keep doing a little bit more because you're feeling better. And that's what I want to see within our community is people are starting to do little things to get a little bit healthier. You don't have to do it all at one big time and make one big, huge decision, but making the small steps to get there. And I feel like, picking up, for me, I know sitting down actually reading a physical book is not something I enjoy doing. So I've actually turned to doing audibles, and doing it that way. And it's something that makes me move when I'm doing that. But that mental piece when people can, because I know, for me personally, that works for me, and being able to make that decision to do what you can to take care of the insides, small steps, drinking water, small steps, taking a walk, those things are things that we can do to be able to help us get to that next step and do a little bit better, because I really want to see our community get a lot stronger and a lot healthier. Because we're seeing, we're not seeing as much produce in our communities. We're not seeing, when you're driving down certain areas in Raleigh, you're not seeing the healthier options and things of that nature. So we push ourselves towards fast food, and that's not the direction we need to go in. And we need to see a way that we can come together. So if it takes me to take one person to be able to pass that message along, then hopefully that message will get to the next person. So I'm a big advocate of just feeling healthier, and how do we need to do that?
Now, you were talking about books and Audible, and I'm really falling in love with Audible. What are you reading these days, and is it good?
Yeah, well, for me, yes, it's personally very good. For others, maybe not. When everything shut down, and I have to go back to that, because when things are busy, sometimes by the time you get home, from me teaching multiple classes throughout the day, sometimes it's just easy just to, get settled in, get ready for the next day, and sitting and picking up a book was not something that, I was interested in being able to do, unless it was a quick journal or something quick with fitness or something I could just read very quickly. But getting my mind like really tuned into something that was going to be a longer read, I didn't really have the time, or if I started something, I would have to put it down. So when everything really went from 150 miles an hour in my own world, in my own life, down to like 2 miles an hour, I was like, what am I going to do? Because for everybody, it was a shock in the system. You go from, I went from one day teaching to next day, I don't have a gym to go to right now. And so now it's like, okay, so what am I going to do to fill that time? So the first week, I just got really excited about what I could sleep in past 4:30. It was really nice. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'm rested now. So what's the next step? So as I began to walk, and I'm very music driven. I love music. You know how we are, John. We love our music. And I was like, I don't want to listen to music right now. So I'm like, what else can I listen to? So I started with something really simple. I started listening to different podcasts. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to flip through every time I'm walking through different podcasts. I want to stick with one thing and see what that sounds like. So I actually started listening to Oprah's Super Soul, and it's a collaboration of all her shows over, I think, like 25 years that she was on television doing the Oprah Winfrey Show. And I started listening to that, and it was like really cool to like go back to some of those interviews that she's had with different guests. My first one that I listened to was Dwayne Johnson, who I got a chance to meet many, many years ago. And I listened to that, and then I let one roll into the next one. So I got a chance to hear all of that. And then the last one I listened to was Michelle Obama's, her podcast, or her interview with Oprah. And then from there, I went and I downloaded Becoming, and I sat the Oprah aside for a little while, and I began to listen to Becoming every day. So it became, a 3-mile walk ended up becoming a 4 and 5 mile walk, because I didn't really want to quote unquote put the book down. I didn't want to stop the Audible, because I just enjoyed hearing her tell her story and listening to the memoirs of her life. It allowed me every single day to have a chapter that I could listen to on my walks. And I was just telling one of my close friends and mentors, I was like, man, it takes you through these emotional roller coasters of up and down, but you really got an insight about her life as, not just the first lady that we got a chance to know, but Michelle Robinson, this child that was born, and she takes you through this whole life. So it is amazing. And I know it's now on Netflix. Becoming is on Netflix now. I haven't sat down and watched it because I want to finish the book. But yeah, and then from there, I actually purchased her journal. as it goes along. It doesn't go, I'm not going to say it goes along with the book, but it makes you think. She probes questions to make you think about different things in your own life. So yeah, that's been something that I've, enjoyed reading. I'm actually on like halfway through the last chapter now. So literally every day, 7 days out of the week, I'm walking every day and I'm listening to her book. So now I'm on the last chapter, and I just started, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that. And then I also continue like to do some type of reading on self-development, especially because I know my habits, and we can get very lax in this time of quietness because the days kind of, as we both know, run in from one day to the next, right? And so one thing I always want to make sure is that my days are, very productive. And so I came across another book because I know I can procrastinate as well, which is a 30-day productivity, and it's breaking 30 bad habits. So each chapter guide you along, and it's interactive, and it guides you along on how to help break those habits that we all have a tendency to maybe do, not just on purpose, but just sometimes, just life gets in the way. You start on something, you put it down. And so that, and then another fitness friend of mine had turned me on to a book called Get Over Your Damn Self. And I was like, woo, that sounds like it's a lot of fun. And it's a great model for, and it just takes you through those different things. So those are things that, I'm revisiting back into. Becoming is now getting ready to kind of come off the board now, because like I said, I'm almost done with the book. And now as of last night, I started digging back into the 30-day productivity and stuff as well. I've already went through like the prefix part of the book, and just kind of understanding how it works as a workbook, and now I'll be digging deep into that one as well. So but those are the things that I'm having in my ear right now, and it's great because then I'm captivated every time I'm on my walk. So now I'm actually doing something. I'm staying physically active, and then I'm also staying mentally aware and alert as I keep those very positive things in our minds, especially right now, because things can get a little bit grim from day to day if you're not keeping anything kind of positive, and especially just in general, just keeping things positive in our ears. So
what do you think is important for people to do while they're in this lockdown state? And you touched on it a little, but tell me more.
And and like I said, and I can speak from my experience, because I know, I can only imagine, with this month is mental health month, and so certain things just aren't as easy for other people, and I'm not saying that they're easy for me either, because I really had to regroup. So my biggest thing is, the things that I'm living by is regroup, refocus, and those are the things that are getting me through like each and every day, because this is a time that we've slowed so far down. At least a lot of us have slowed really, really far down from our normal everyday. And so we're having, for me personally, to regroup and refocus, because the world of fitness is changing. And it's going to be a lot different, because now people are taking online classes and they're working out through Zoom, and they're not working out with people around them. They're working out through their computers and through their screens now. So group fitness in a way has changed. Fitness and training has changed over these last few weeks that we've been out, 60 days or more that we've been away from the physical gym. So for me personally, regroup and refocus, because how's that going to look after we come through this pandemic? How is that going to look on a norm? And so it was extremely important for me to reconnect in a way, from a mental standpoint, to keep those positive things in my head, to wake up every day, to write affirmations down, to keep little things noted, so I can reference back to those things, to stay empowered in my own mind and be able to speak those things when I'm out. I know people probably think I'm crazy because I'm talking, because I'm laughing when I'm listening to like my, got my headset on, so I'm laughing, but I'm also keeping those things positive and close to my head when I wake up in the morning, keeping that first thought, in my head. What's that affirmation going to look like the next day, and telling myself that. So I had to personally do that every single day, because the world in which I was living as an instructor, I'm now a student, because I'm not instructing classes. So I'm not standing in front of people inspiring them. I had to kind of regroup to start inspiring myself. And so that, and then trying to find those books or those podcasts or something that can keep your mind focused every day, so you're not sitting in front of Netflix, binge watching a show day after day after day. It's nothing wrong with that, but what are you doing to fill up those other hours during the day? And then that physical component of being able to move and keep your body moving, keeping those endorphins going. And because I hear so many times people are like, oh, I'm overeating, I'm not working out, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And then taking that negative thought process out of our everyday and trying to turn those I'm not into I am. I can't, but I am. And just changing those, I'm powerful, I'm unstoppable, I'm movable. Yes, I may gain a little bit weight because now I might be eating a little bit more chocolate than normal. I may be eating a little bit more. I'm going to the refrigerator a little bit more. But what can we do to change that mindset? So I made sure my diet, my everyday eating stayed the same, but it's easier when you eat clean and you're pescatarian because you kind of can't eat certain things anyway because it'll make you sick, for me personally. So that was easy. But then I have a bad habit of not drinking enough water. So I had to figure out a way to be able to get more water into my day to day. So there's things that I struggle with as well. But the biggest thing for me was my mindset and setting that every single day. And now I focus on that, and then focusing on my mind being strong has continued to propel me to want to get out and walk every day, to come back and do a workout with Sean T, and our relationships get tested every single time I'm working out with them. But it's keeping me going. So I don't just keep it at a walk. I keep my, videos up that I'm working out with him and finding different things to do. And on the days that it's gloomy outside, I don't let that stop me. I still do that. So it's one of those things that you just got to find out what drives you every single day to keep going through this, because although the states are starting to open up, things just aren't going to be the same norm that we're used to. It's going to still be a very different norm.
Life's a journey, and we learn from everything we do and experience, hopefully.
Definitely, right?
I tell people, I know that's right. I tell people, you, my friend, are the master of reinvention. Now, and I'm not going to go into everything. Listen, you've worked in media. You've done so many cool things. What is something you'd like to do that you haven't done?
I would love an opportunity to just continue, to travel and teach at a gym and not be held to any one place, and be able to teach at this gym, come in and be a guest spin instructor, because that's one of my absolute passions, is teaching cycle classes and spin classes, and being able to just travel from gym to gym, from place to place, and be that guest instructor. I'm not saying that I'm the bomb.com. I just love it that much. And being able to come in, drop in and teach a class, not just here within the US, actually abroad, is something I would love to be able to do, and just travel and do fitness on that level. Eventually, one of my things that I would love to be able to do, which is something I completely stirred away from, is yoga, which and I want to be able to adopt that in my life, because I don't plan on jumping around a whole lot doing high intensity stuff many, many years from now. But hopefully adding some of that mind body connection. But one of the things I would love to do is, and all jokes aside, is actually being able to travel, not just within the US, but definitely abroad, and being able to just teach from at different locations and just pop in, teach a class, couple of classes, move out, make connections with people, inspire people, talk to people, being able to just present in front of people, being able to talk to small groups about fitness, and being able to connect with people that way, and then just continue to teach. That is something I would absolutely love to be able to have the opportunity to do.
And I know you're going to make it happen, because you are awesome.
I'm gonna try my best, man. Maybe somebody out here is listening and they need that.
No doubt. You definitely take the link from this and you spread it around.
I will,
That's
man.
it.
Thank you, man. I will.
Now, is there anything you want to share that I haven't covered?
We talked about so much. I'm thinking. There's nothing. For me, personally, I like I said before, as we were talking, I just want to continue to inspire people to be the best version of themselves and not try to be like the person next to them or anything like that. And for me, it's not about always total weight loss. I mean, that's important. Don't get me wrong. That part is important, but it's just being the best version of who we are, because we go through each decade of our lives and our lives change. You know, we can go back through middle school when we met and we look at the pictures when we were in middle school, and we look at the pictures we are in high school, and we look at pictures when we were in our 20s and in our 30s, and we're not going to go past any of that right now, but every decade we're not going anywhere else past that. But the point of it but the point I'm trying to make, you know what I mean? We don't have to go any further past our 30s. But the point is just being able to be the best version of ourselves and accepting where we are, you know. And I've enjoyed like being a mom. I've, single mom, 17-year-old. I had a C-section with him. From that point, my whole body, that was the body I had in my 20s, completely changed when I'm in my 30s. So I had to learn to love looking at myself differently. It doesn't mean I had to stop trying to improve how I wanted that to look, but I still had to learn to accept everything about me physically differently. But I also had to continue to grow mentally, love myself differently. So I just want to continue to help people know that this is a whole big thing. It's the mental, it's the how we look at ourselves, our image, all of those things. And I just really want to help people to love and inspire them to just be the best version of themselves. And that's just huge for me, and everything. And I just, that right there. And I hope that if anything, it sums up everything, but that's just me personally, is that's what I want to be able to share with people and be able to just continue to drill that into not just our community, but just everywhere that I can go and being able to reach individuals.
How can people contact you, connect with you if they want to try the detox or if they want to get in better shape? Do you have a website or Instagram or anything?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. I like for people to email me because I'm really big. I mean, you've known me forever. I'm really big on being able to connect with people. I know we have to connect with people a lot differently than we do now, but I really like to talk to people. So email is a great way to do that in my Instagram. So my email is F as in Frank, Baxter, B as in boy, AXTER, fitnesscoach@gmail.com. They can reach me there. My Instagram is F as in Frank, B as in boy, fit, FIT, mom. They can reach me there just to coach you through, find out what your needs are. If I don't have it, I always have people that I can connect you with. John knows how I am about sharing and loving on people, and being able to definitely, share that. But definitely I'm here to help out in any way that I can. And again, if I'm not able to, have what you need, I can definitely get you to the right person that can definitely help you in that next level as well. Because it's a community. It's all about community for me as well. But definitely, John knows how I am. I'm like, definitely an email. Follow me on Instagram, and I'd love to connect with you and be able to be there to help out in any way that I can.
Felicia, I want to thank you so much, and I'm going to have links to the stuff we talked about, the detox, and your contact information. I'm going to have those links in the story description.
Yeah,
most definitely. Felicia, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
All right, sounds good, champ. Thank you, man.
Welcome back to the Wrecka Stow podcast. One of my favorite bands of all time has a new album. And with more than 50 years together, Emilio Castillo's soul, funk, rock powerhouse Tower of Power is still going strong. Representing the East Bay area of Oakland, California to the fullest, the new album Step Up does just that. Armed with a new young lead singer, Marcus Scott, man, he has a voice that brings the blues and soul to the ballads, and you'll love the way he brings the right bounce to the dance songs. The band never disappoints. Standout cuts on the album for me include Let's Celebrate Our Love and If It's Tea, Give Me Coffee, as well as who would have thought. Man, those horns are legendary. Now I've got links in the show description so you can go online and buy the album. The legendary Tower of Power and their new album, Stand Up. You heard about it right here on the Wrecka Stow podcast. And that's going to do it for episode 10 of the Wrecka Stow podcast. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can find us on Apple, Google, Stitcher, YouTube, and all the places podcasts play. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to our guest, Felicia Baxter. And remember to find links to most of the things we talk about on the show in the show description. Listen, like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, don't forget about that virtual tip jar. It's wide open and waiting for you, baby, on paypal.me/blessyourheart. Your support is greatly appreciated. Keep rocking with the Wrecka Stow podcast. Until next time, I'm John Champion.